Hello everyone, and welcome to my review of the Wild Wisdom of the Faery Oracle Deck by Lucy Cavendish with artwork by Selena Fennick. I forgot to mention when I taped this video just now that the deck size is 47 cards and that the cards contain a number, the title, and then a brief description of the energy of the card. I forgot to mention that in my review, and I do love to know that when I'm watching other people's reviews. So I just wanted to add that at the start of the video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Hi everyone, this is going to be a review of the Wild Wisdom of the Faery Oracle Deck by Lucy Cavendish. It's published by Blue Angel Publishing. And I was asked a little while ago to do this review by a viewer, and I'm sorry that it's taken me this long to get it up. However, I am doing it today. I actually had a little free time this afternoon that I didn't have scheduled, so I really like this deck a lot. I've used it a few times in readings for clients or friends, and I've had great results with it that way. I've mainly been using it for myself over the past few months. And I really love the quality of the readings and the insight that the deck provides me with. In fact, right before we found out that we were having a boy, I had done a little card work with this deck, and I got Little Boy Blue. I'm just trying to find him in here. Dreams Come True, Return of the Soul, and it just cracked me up that we found out we were having a boy, and this was the card that I drew. So I really thought that was quite special with this deck. So mainly, yes, I've been using it for myself, and I really love it. The back of the deck has the fairy or elven star on the back. And they're big, just like her other decks, and I really like that. If you don't like the larger deck size, I'm trying to think if I have anything to compare it with. I don't really right here. Then this deck might be too big for you. But I actually really like the larger size. I think you get a much better image, and you can look more at the symbols that are in the cards when you have a larger deck like this. So as you can see, it's a good size. The decks are pretty sturdy quality. I think I haven't had any problems with any of my decks from Blue Angel warping too quickly or anything like that. I actually really like and enjoy the quality of their cards, at least so far. And it has a wonderful large guidebook that comes with it. And I really, again, just like all of her guidebooks, I mean, that's why I buy her decks over and over again. I really enjoy the meanings. Let me just show you. You get a small reproduction of the card image. And then you get the name of the card and the little like kind of core meaning underneath. Then you have a description, a divinatory meaning, and a reversed meaning. This deck does use reversals if you choose to. She asks that you do, but that is, as always, a personal choice. And I just wanted to show you, the intro is really good, and it's definitely a little bit more pagan friendly. She talks a lot about the Sabbats and the Esbats, and how to honor the fairies and work with them in our lives. She's very environmentally conscious. It doesn't bother me to hear her kind of repeat those themes over and over again. But if it might bother you, so I'm just mentioning it. It doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I think it's a good reminder. And she has, let me just see, like her intro is, you know, quite, like it goes from page 7 to page 36. So she spends a good amount of time discussing the fairies and why we would want to work with them and their energies. And then she has a fairy spread section, which, let me just show you. She does do the, you know, typical cross and, the fairy cross and the Trinity spread, she calls them, you know, which you pretty much get in every book. But she does have a 7-card fairy star reading as well. I haven't tried this one yet, just because I tend to work really intuitively with my spreads. I don't often feel a need to work with a set spread. But I do occasionally, so I am definitely saving that one to try. But I haven't tried the 7-card spread yet. However, it does look like it's well thought out and a good, definitely a good spread to try. You know, it's more than just the generic 3-card past, present, future spread that you usually get in the decks. So the guidebook is great. Definitely worth the investment. I know this deck is a little pricier than some, but you can still find it for a good price. You just have to look around. So let me just show you. I really love the images in this card deck a lot. They're really, really beautiful. Let me show you Solace, number 2, which says Return to Nature, Tree Wisdom, Natural Remedies, and Flower Essences. Then there's Carry Me Home, Support, Time to be Carried, Allow Others to Help. Oh, this one's nice. Gatekeeper, Fairy Time, Time Shifts, Dimensional Slips. I find that these cards are really great to meditate with too. I mean, I say that about every deck. I know I do that because it's true. Cards are amazing meditational tools. But these fairies are really fun to work with. And they're a little bit more, I guess, open and friendly, you could say, than some of the Fairies and Frauds decks. But I actually like the Fairies and Frauds decks. I mean, they're my all-time favorite fairy so far that I've worked with as far as decks go and those different energies. But these are definitely really friendly for doing meditations with. It doesn't mean that they don't give you answers that you might not want to hear, because most of Cavendish's decks do kind of tell it like it is, I have found. Here's another one, Beauty's Truth. Beauty, physical pleasure, and sensuality. Oh, I love this one. Fairy tales, letting go, detachment, moving on. I love that image. And then the Unicorn and the Maiden. Communication with Unicorn, purification, and undercover action. I love unicorns, so of course that would be one of my favorites. I pretty much don't dislike any of the cards in this deck, if you can tell. Crystal Magic, Creation, Dawn, and the Beginning. Let's see if I can find it. I mean, I actually really like that she just went with one artist for this deck, as opposed to the Dragon Fae deck. I just like a continuous theme in the deck. You know, as you're looking at the different cards, I really appreciate that. Story Keeper, tell your story, legacy, write your wisdom. So they're definitely very pagan-inspired fairies, which I love. You might not prefer that. You might prefer Virtue's fairies, which not that you can't use them if you're pagan, because I do use her fairy decks and I like them. But I just enjoy the fact that these are a little bit more pagan-oriented, so their messages are, I don't know, I just find them very close to home, easy for me to understand, and I appreciate the references. This one's nice. Dragon's Pet, communication between species, animals, pets, magical companions, and guardianship. So you'll find a lot of pagan references in the deck, which if you're pagan or if you're familiar with pagan belief systems, hopefully you'll enjoy. I definitely have enjoyed it. Let me see if there's one more. This is kind of like this card, this deck's version of the Fool. Catch Me, trust, surrender, leap of faith into the unknown. So, I'll show this one as my final one. I'll stop now. I pretty much love the whole deck. There's not one card that I hate in this whole deck, image-wise. Scared to Fly, the right moment, sensing out the right timing. So the images are amazing. I think the accuracy of the deck is really great. Like I said, it will give you straight answers. Here's what I do think about this deck. It really requires you to work with it quite a bit. Oops, sorry, son. And it does require you to work with it in a very respectful manner. And she talks about that a lot at the beginning of the guidebook. She really does feel like fairies are very real, which I agree with, but some people have a different viewpoint on that, and obviously that's perfectly fine. But she really does feel that they're real. And so I think a lot of the energy that goes into the deck, you know, you approach it respectfully as far as these being real beings as well as energies that are associating with the images on the deck. And so I really enjoy that, but it is something to be aware of. If you can't, you know, if that really bothers you, that she feels that they're really real beings, then that's just a heads up when you go to purchase this deck. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, I really enjoy using this deck for clarity or a clarifier if I'm doing a tarot spread or something like that too. This deck is really good for that. You know, if I'm having a question about something and I'm just not getting to the root of it with tarot, I love using my Oracle deck in conjunction with my tarot deck for that. This Oracle deck works really well with that. It's great for meditation. I really don't have anything negative to say about this deck, or, you know, that I wasn't wowed by. I think it was definitely worth the investment. I had to do some work to manage to find it and get it and everything, but I'm glad that I did. And of course now it is available on Amazon. But so you can find it quite easily now, I believe. But I had to search around quite a bit and managed to get it through the wonderful store that I work at. They were able to get it for me. So it was definitely worth the wait and the work to find a way to end up getting it. I really, really love this deck. And I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it if you work with fairies or fairy energy. And if you're pagan, this is a great deck for you. It really does tie in well with the sabbats and the esbats, and there's wonderful ways that you can weave it into your daily spiritual practice. So I hope that you all enjoyed this review. I'm going to be hopefully finding time to do some other videos in the near future too. As I mentioned in my last video on, I'm sorry, I've been getting over a cold, so that's why I sound terrible, on stone divination. And I also wanted to do a video on some of Doreen Virtue's decks, because I have done some Virtue reviews in the past, and have been working a lot more with her decks, and so I kind of have a more educated opinion right now of her work and my experience working with her decks, because I've branched out into more of her decks. So I want to do a video on that, and if you know, if you guys have any questions or anything you'd like me to do a video on, just let me know. I know it takes me a little bit to get back to you all, and I apologize for that. I promise that I get back to you as soon as I can. And I truly appreciate communicating with all of you, and I thank you all for watching, and I hope you all had a wonderful Yule and or Christmas and a wonderful holiday season, and are pumped up for all the great things that are going to happen in 2013 and the great changes that we'll all experience in a positive way in 2013. So I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.